You're listening to Spreaker Web Radio.
You are listening to Let's Talk About It, sponsored by the #1 broadcasting network on the net. And that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's Spreaker, that's .com.
Separates us is what we've been taught to believe. But don't you be deceived. Oh yeah, we are one. We are one. We are one.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer.
You asking today, how long will it take? Somebody's asking how long will prejudice blind the visions of men? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed earth will rise again. How long? Not long, because no lie can live forever. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. Because you shall reap what you sow. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. How long? Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yes, that scaffold sways the future. Behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. How long? Not long. Because mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He's loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is tempting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah.
Hello Facebook, hello Google, hello Twitter. My friends have tagged, linked, YouTube, Spreaker.com, baby, my family, and internet listeners all around the world. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, coming to you live from the Jewel of the Delta, and that is Forest City, Arkansas, where it is 60 degrees and clear. But of this, we have no fear, because it's about to be 160 up in here, because you know we got some shit to talk about. Oh, my goodness. Okay, but wait, before I start talking about it and before I lose my mind, let me welcome to the show my co-host, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, all the way from California. Hey, Jackie, are you there? All right. I want you to speak up just a little bit more, okay, next time I call on you. I know you're a little sleepy and you woke out from all the Trump abuse you've been taking and getting your putty tat grabbed, but come with it. Joining Jackie and me and stepping into Walt's shoes today. He was supposed to be joining us with Walt, but Walt's going to be out today. And joining Jackie and me is none other. I haven't given him a nickname yet. Jackie, do you have anything that we might want to give this person a nickname?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I still need to finish my coffee.
Well, I'm going to call him Ken the Bull for right now. Ken the Bull Morganfield, Jackie's baby brother, has been dying to join the conversation, and he is here. Ken, say hello to the peoples.
Hello, people.
Okay, so we got Ken and we got Jackie, and we may have Barry a little later to say a word or two, just says something, but I'm not certain of that. But this is enough. I got me a crew who really knows politics, talks this shit with me every day, and we are ready to give it to you. Are you ready? Because I'm telling you, some stuff is going on. Okay, so before I say that or take you any further, what I want you to do is, if you would like to get into the chat room and say a little something, comment to us, calling us nigga and shit. That don't get us. That just get you blocked out the chat room. But if you'd like to make a comment or you'd like to chime in and just say a little something every time we talking about a subject, give us your thoughts. If they some good ones, I'll read them out. Also, okay, so the way you do that, the way you get into the chat room, I'm trying to do two different things at once, y'all. I'm trying to share on the different pages that we own, and I'm trying to talk to y'all. So y'all just hang in there with me, okay, while I get my train of thought together. But if you'd like to get into the chat room, all you have to do is look right down here in the bottom right-hand corner of your monitor. Yes, right down there. And right next to the words live, let's talk about it. All you have to do is click on that little bubble. That's what we call the Spreaker bubble. Right next to those words, live, let's talk about it. You click on that, and that should put you in the chat room. Right next to the Spreaker bubble is the share page, so that you can share with anybody you want to share with and say, oh, y'all got to join these crazy folks over here for all the facts, the fun, and the foolishness, because they are talking about it. And if that doesn't work for you for any strange reason, all you need to do is scroll back up to the top of the page, right above the music feed, and click on the title of the show, okay? And that too will surely put you in the chat room, okay? So you know how to get into the chat room. You know how to share. Are you ready to listen? Because we ready to talk about it for you. We ready to give it to you. I'm sharing my last page onto Twitter so that they can get in on the conversation as well if they'd like to. And then we getting ready to talk about it some fierce. Because, y'all, we got some shit going on. Jackie, talk to us about the shit that's going on.
Oh, well, of course, everyone who's been watching the news knows about what's going on with Donald Trump and all of the women accusing him of, let's see, how can I put it, inappropriate sexual conduct or unwanted and uninvited sexual advances.
Yeah.
That has been all the news all this week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and it's getting really, for me anyway, it's getting really, really depressing. I mean, this election needed to be over in August, right?
Uh-huh. And here we are.
Yeah, but we're counting down now. But what I find most interesting is how Donald Trump, after the debate and after the latest revelations about his sexual proclivities, right?
Uh-huh.
he has decided to just go. He calls himself Unshackled, right? And so now he is running his primary campaign again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure that in Trump world, they feel they can get out enough angry white people to vote him into the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also saying that if he doesn't win, then that means the election was rigged. I mean, this is such third world stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And then in the debate when he threatened to put Hillary in jail, even though there's been FBI and State Department investigations and all this other stuff, and she didn't break any laws. And what a lot of people don't seem to realize about this email stuff is that if Hillary had sent emails to people who weren't supposed to get them, right, people without clearance, then it would have been a different matter. But she never did that, right?
Nope.
And people keep pointing to David Petraeus. What got David Petraeus into trouble is that he sent emails to someone who was not authorized to have them.
Thank you. To his putty tat.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that I really don't get to is that every government employee, right, you're supposed to, your emails are on the government server, but if they get personal emails, things that are not work-related, they delete them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that every government employee who works at a high level determines themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I think that the email thing should be put to rest by now, but of course we know, right? Because the Republicans are still mad about Watergate, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to get them off of anything because they're just doing whatever they can to trash Hillary and Bill and whoever else they can find, and that is because their candidate is in such bad shape.
Yeah, and the facts
they're
don't
trying to drive up Hillary's negatives even higher because Trump's negatives keep going up.
And the facts don't matter, Jackie.
No.
They just continue. She should be locked up. What email scandal? There's no scandal here.
Yes.
There's no scandal.
Yes.
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And there was no law broken.
No.
Hillary, he stood on the stage Sunday night and she never apologized. She has said over and over, I apologize for things could have been handled better. And of course, once you make a mistake, Hillary's intelligent enough to know that, and she has told us so, that mistake will never be made again.
Right.
But again, she was following in the footsteps of other secretaries of state who had reminded her, like Colin Powell, and she had seen what Condoleezza Rice did, get you a private email, don't use it. And again, the State Department is the one that's been broken into, not her emails, not her server. And Trump is not a secret server.
Right.
It's not a secret server. A secret server. It wasn't. It was just a private server from her home. A secret server in the basement. Like it was some dark tower.
Well, still the question that I have about emails, let's talk about the Bush administration.
Okay.
Because the Bush administration, Dick Cheney and George Bush deleted 22 million emails.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the outcry about that?
There is none because they're not Hillary.
Now, mind you, this is an administration who got us into the wars that we are still in, cost thousands of American lives, which the Republicans are screaming about Benghazi. Now, any life lost is a terrible thing, but when you compare tens of thousands to 4, I have a problem with that. 22 million emails, but you're hollering about 33,000. have a problem with that. When you say that the government, that the nation is going in the wrong directions, but you hold 248 seats out of 440 in the House, you hold 54 out of 100 seats in the Senate, and 31 of the 50 governors of the United States are all Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So if the country is going in the wrong way,
going the wrong direction,
whose
fault is that?
Whose fault is it?
Yeah. And, Ken, they could pass all kinds of laws to help with more than what Barack Obama has done. They could pass all kinds of laws if they would work with them, but it's not the American people that's on their minds.
No, it's not.
It's them. And that's why they don't want to do nothing. They wanted it to fail completely.
Yeah,
so
Brenda, and that is the thing about the candidate, this chaos that's in the Republican Party right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They would not be having all these issues if they put their country before their party.
Mm-hmm. And Jackie, they would never allow Michelle Obama to have been hugged up naked with another woman and been the first lady of this country. They would never have allowed Barack Obama to have talked like this, had 3 wives, 3 affairs, the Christian conservative, evangelical. They would never have allowed it. He would have not been fitting to be president.
That's right. Because it just would have been undignified, this, that, and or the other thing.
That's right.
Would have been disqualifying.
But
how is it that these things would be disqualifying for any Democrat, but if it's a Republican, we are just supposed to ignore it? It's excusable.
Okay, and check this out, Jackie. I'm on Twitter right now, and Gary, the numbers guy, I'm sure he's a Trump supporter, is at Cory Booker. Cory Booker, a closet homosexual, has no wife, has no girlfriend. Jackie, what? Lindsey Graham is a homosexual. Oh, but he's white. He's white, so it's okay. He's lived with another man for 20-some years. Do you hear any of us, the Democrats or the liberals, as they call us, or the progressives, they call us everything. Do you hear any of us getting online saying that about any of their people?
Yeah, and not only that, it's nobody's business.
Thank you. These people are sick. Cory Booker responded, "Whatever my sexual orientation, no, I love you. I hope you are okay with that. May we both elevate more than denigrate." So well said, Cory. Do y'all see the difference in how these sick Trump supporters and these conservatives and these evangelicals talk to people? What's Cory Booker got to do with this? What does Cory Booker's sexual orientation have to do with anything?
But Brenda, when you don't have any good ideas yourself, that's all you do is deflect into all this other, reality TV shit.
Yeah,
okay? That's what you do. And like Rush Limbaugh was hilarious the other day when he was talking about how liberals have this whole big thing about consent. They don't care what you do as long as they're consenting adults. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that would be important to have consent.
Because it ain't none of my business. And if you are consenting adults and you like to have your girl beat you with a riding crop, hey, that's what you do.
Okay. And was he on his third or fourth wife? Third or fourth marriage? I mean, really?
Yeah, Limbaugh, I think Limbaugh is like, he may be at 4 or 5.
He's right in there with Giuliani and
Trump
and
Gingrich.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackie. Okay, so we're in ranting right now about all of the shit. Okay, let's go to Joe Scarborough if he said this at all, it's coming
Why
from.
are we going? Okay, I was about to say, why?
Well, it's because it's about
But okay.
Poor
Trump.
Joe.
Yeah, it's coming from the heel, so they kind of cray too. On Twitter, Scarborough. If I had been sexually harassed by Trump, I would have come forward earlier. Now, if Joe Scarborough said that, we don't expect you to understand, Joe. You're a man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this sexual harassment thing a bit.
Okay.
So many people are saying, why she wait all this time? Why she didn't tell somebody? Because we understand that if we have a job and we're trying to pay our bills and our boss starts groping us and wanting to grope us and talking to us in a kind of way and tell I sure want that putty tat. Let me hit that. And you're like, no, you never expected your boss to talk to you like that. You got your bills to pay. You're scared. You just hoping you can ward it off. You just hoping you can wait it out. Hoping he'll stop. You don't know anything about this, Joe. If you said this shit, you don't know anything about what you would have done.
Well, and the other thing too, though, Brenda, is that what the two ladies who came out to the New York Times said was when he said on that debate stage that he had never behaved that way. You know what happened? Made him mad.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make them mad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just don't make them angry.
Well, I can't speak. Oh, I'm scared. Excuse me. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. So one of the things that I found very interesting is just in watching the news on this and watching women talk about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every woman has had this experience, okay? Every woman has had an experience like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when guys talk about it, they don't know how that feels. They have no idea how it feels and what a bad situation it puts you in, okay? And so, yeah, women would like to do something about it. Well, like that 22-year-old woman that he groped in front of the elevator or whatever. She was talking about how, she felt so insignificant, that he feels that he can do this to me and I don't have any recourse. And it comes down, and it always comes down to he said, she said, unless there's like video, like that horrible congressman from Louisiana who was caught smooching this woman he was having an affair with. The cameras are on, so they had video. But if you're a woman and you don't have any kind of objective proof of what happened, then if he said, she said, and because he is the rich, powerful guy,
right,
you're assumed to be just a gold digging slut, right? So yeah, this is definitely about power, and it's like Trump said in that Access Hollywood video. You're a star. You can do whatever you want.
That's right. Grab them by the pussy, anything. You can do whatever you want.
What makes it ring more true to me is these women, and there's three now on the last report. They've all used their real names.
Yes.
Knowing what kind of fool Donald Trump is.
Oh yeah, because he's threatening to sue everybody.
Because these women have nothing to lose. Why would you lie on this man, knowing what kind of temperament that he has? Okay, but you are stepping out. Now I can't tell you about being groped and all that other stuff. I've been groped before, but it was by a woman and not in mine.
Right, because that's right, King. Because you
I can tell you how that makes you feel.
That's
okay?
right.
But I can say this: looking at how Donald Trump has been running this campaign, okay, he has no policies, and all he has is the temperament of a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. If that's how he's running this campaign, I can already imagine what his personal life would be like.
And Ken, you
Yeah.
can also imagine what the White House would be like.
Well,
This
I'm
man,
not even going that far yet, Auntie. I'm trying to stay right here on this subject with the bravery and the courage of these women
mm-hmm, yes, I
to
understand.
step forward
Uh-huh.
and say these things and use their real names. We're not hiding from you, Donald.
Mm-hmm.
We have a name. And this is my real name. So if you want to come find me, you can.
And Ken, not to mention, if they have a social media page, which they probably do, the vile and the threats and the violent threats and shit that they're going to get from these Trump supporters.
Well, never mind the Trump supporters. You know what they're gonna get from the Trump supporters. You can just see what the leader did with the Speaker of the House, with Paul Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's right, Jack, Ken, because he doesn't need his supporters to come out and say nothing ugly and vile about you. He'll do it himself.
That's right.
This man has no class, no taste, he has no reserve about himself. Y'all really can't believe that he would be a great leader. I mean, really. I'll tell you another sign, Ken, that says all about who he is and what he is, and that he is everything these women are saying about him, and he is everything that he said he was that came out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
This is because you watch who he brought into his campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Roger Ailes. The minute this man got fired, and Fox TV, Jackie, would not have let him go. They wouldn't have let him go. He was there for what, 20 years or more?
Roger Ailes,
basically. He founded, yeah. He and Rupert Murdoch founded Fox News.
And he already paid out how many millions to women who have been claiming that he had done these things to them. I mean, not even that. The one girl that he got and made her like the bottom bitch hoe to get him Roger's hoes. Remember that part of the story, Jackie? That he sent this girl out and made her recruit girls for him. He wanted them to see him having sex with each other. Now, he was a pimp daddy to the mat. Fox knew that. Fox knew this. They started paying money to women. Why? Because they knew it was true. And then they fired him. And who picked this scumbag up to work with him and his campaign? Trump. Jackie, no sane campaign would have ever touched this man in the midst of their president election bid for nothing. Nobody would have touched him. No sane man running for president.
But to these guys, it doesn't matter, Brenda.
Yeah, to him and these fools that he just hired. Mm-hmm. This is amazing. What I don't understand is how Kellyanne Conway is going to grow up and let her children see her on video telling the lies that she tells and defending this piece of shit.
Yeah, well, I wondered about Kellyanne, because how could she be a party to this? You understand? I mean, it's my understanding that she makes plenty of money. She was making plenty of money before she went on to Trump's campaign. Mm-hmm. But I read an article recently on it wasn't on HuffPost, maybe it was Vox or something like that, mm-hmm. that Kellyanne, for some reason, she really hates Hillary Clinton. That she hates her.
Oh, well, that's how she got on the campaign.
And she will do anything to keep Hillary from becoming president. And I was thinking, why does she hate Hillary Clinton so much?
There was a Republican senator the other day who was saying that, our party doesn't, we don't do anything anymore. We don't do any work for the people. We only want to be, they only want you to be on the hate Hillary bandwagon. And if you're not on the hate Hillary bandwagon, you know, you're out. He said, I am so tired of this. I am not voting for Donald Trump. He said, and if Hillary Clinton becomes president, I intend to work with her. And I wish that I had stopped right then and written down his name because...
Brenda, the thing about that, too, is that the proof is in the pudding. I mean, is this guy running for re-election?
I do not know, Jackie. But,
and the thing about these senators is if they're running for re-election, and where are they running for re-election?
Yeah.
Because just think about the way that they treated President Obama.
Yeah.
Just think about that. And the thing about it is they have all been, whenever one of them said, oh, we jumped this way, all of them jumped that way.
Yeah, he mentioned that, Jackie, and he said, that this was all about hating Obama, Clinton. You got to hate them or you can't be a part of our party.
But Brenda, the other thing too is think about how much money the conservative movement, quote unquote, whatever that is, has made off of this Obama hating and Clinton hating.
Oh, they've made a lot, Jackie, and they're still fooling them right now.
And they created Donald Trump.
Can you imagine? They're wearing these Bill Clinton is a rapist t-shirts. Hillary Clinton is a bitch and a hoe. They're wearing these shirts to these rallies, Jackie, proudly. And these folks are printing them and selling them.
Not only that, but they've been offered $5,000 if they can get on TV.
Well, that was
T-shirt screaming.
That was Alex Jones.
Exactly, but they've been offered $5,000.
That's right, and they're getting
to disrupt the Democratic rallies. And if they get on TV wearing that T-shirt, screaming that Bill Clinton is a rapist, they get $5,000.
Right.
So you got a gang of them that's out there trying to do it.
That's Alex Jones, who is the most.
I was about to say, when you said Alex Jones,
yeah,
girl, you've heard now. Look, I know that we're about to go from the sublime to the ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Oh God, here we go.
But it's a part of this campaign, Jackie. It may be true that what you're saying that we about to go to, but it's a part of this campaign.
Okay, now Alex Jones, and I saw this with my own eyes on his show. I was watching Rachel Maddow one night. She was showing clips of Alex Jones telling his folks that that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are demons. They are demon possessed. They smell like sulfur.
But did you see how he looked when he was saying it? He looked like a demon.
Oh my God!
And so then, of course, President Obama, speaking at a campaign rally, I believe in North Carolina, brought that up, and then he smelled his hand, and everybody broke out laughing.
Okay, and he handled that so well.
Now, look, if this is your base, if there are people who believe this shit, the Republican Party has more trouble than they even know they had.
well, Jackie, that is their base. That's who Donald Trump is playing to.
Jackie, and why did he called her the devil Sunday night?
Oh, he has called her the devil more than once.
I know, but Jackie, we're in a presidential debate.
No, when he said she has nothing but hate in her heart, I was like, wow.
Yeah, she's the devil. Oh, his followers were so excited that he called her the devil to her face and got hate in her heart. And then when Anderson Cooper said, in closing, tell us one thing you respect about the other person. Well, she's a fighter.
It wasn't Anderson Cooper. It was this man named Ken Boone.
It was a question from the audience. That's right.
Yeah, it was a question from the audience.
Oh, okay. Tell us what you think about the other, what you respect about your opponent. And Hillary Clinton, I thought she was very classy because there was not shit to respect about him. She came up with a great answer. Well, Donald has wonderful children, and I assume that he had something to do with that.
Yeah.
That's
I was
what.
thinking to myself. In other words, I don't respect shit
It's about
this
you.
crap.
I like him cheering. I like it cheering. That's all. And that's because Ivanka and Chelsea are friends. And
Right.
someone
That's right.
said that they wrote on Twitter one day they were vowing to still be friends after this election. But I don't know about that. But because she was looking like the cat who ate the canary on somebody's morning show the other day, as she tried to say that my father's not a groper and this and that. Coming out of his mouth, he says he's a groper. Said he doesn't grope.
And his father said it was okay to refer to you, my dear, as a piece of ass.
Yes. And Jackie, in the words of Festus Hagen, he says he's a groper, and it didn't come out of his mouth that he's a groper. I believe he's a groper. And she was looking like she was about to faint. Like, how can I defend this?
Yeah.
You know, shame on you. I mean,
but that's gotta hurt, Brenda.
It does.
So think about how much you love your father.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait a minute, ladies, because there was something else that came out, and I was watching, was it CNN or MSNBC last night, and a guy that wrote a book, he's been following Trump for decades, not just years, but for decades, and he said that Trump really didn't have anything to do with raising them kids.
That's what I believe, Ken. I said he didn't have nothing to do with them because he said he was never home. He said that out of his own mouth in an interview, asked about why his marriage is where he said, because I'm a workaholic and I'm never home. So we know he didn't have shit to do with raising them. And if he did, I would hate to think that there's a little Eric or a little Donald Trump Jr. out there doing women like he's doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he had any influence in raising those boys, I'm sure that they've seen him little foul mouth, and I'd hate to think that they're a bunch of little Trump mini-me's.
Yeah, well, look, the Trump kids, there are things to wonder about with them, of course, because Donald Trump is their daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this thing about Trump raising these children and not having anything to do with raising these children, there's more than one person who has mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, that he has adult children now that he has brought into his business or whatever that are out doing whatever it is that they do, right? That is not a surprising thing, and I would love to know what their relationships are actually like. I mean, we're never going to know that, but I would love to know what their relationships are actually like. Yeah. But, when Trump says that Hillary was a fighter and she doesn't quit, like, well, a truer thing has not been said.
That's right.
Because given all of the shit that Hillary has been through over these last 30 or 40 years, well, for instance, when she and Bill got married in Arkansas, they savaged her in Arkansas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't look like a cheerleader and she didn't know her place, right? And so she had her makeover done and all that other stuff, and she became a little more acceptable. But I remember the years when Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas, and how he and Hillary had to fight every freaking year for money for education from the legislature. And I remember I was in college at that time, and one state senator was talking about how Bill Clinton wanted to coddle these youngins in college, and what the hell are they studying anyway? They're not learning shit at the university. Like, oh, well, I hope that's not true.
Okay. I mean, really, Jackie, I don't know what to say, but let me tell you once again, who was it, Maya Angelou, that said that when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yes.
He cannot control himself. He shows us who he is every day with this petty little. He's on TV now. The president has arrived in Pittsburgh. Michelle Obama just got through with such a respectful, awesome. Don't let this son bitch be president speech.
A respectful, awesome evisceration of Donald Trump.
Very well said. Thank you, Ken. Don't let this son bitch be president. And she used the most beautiful words to describe this son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. And now the president has arrived in Pittsburgh. I mean, Hillary has her warriors on the battlefield. Do you hear me? As Rachel pointed out the other day, Hillary Clinton has the president of the United States, Barack Obama, the vice president of the United States, Joe Biden. She has Bernie Sanders on the warpath. She has Elizabeth Warren on the warpath. She's got Bill Clinton, former president, on the battlefield for her. And she's got 6 or 8 surrogates out there.
Yeah, and she's got
Michelle Obama out there.
Which is the most powerful piece on the board, because she's the queen, boy.
Okay, working their hearts out to make sure she wins this election. And Donald Trump has whom? He has himself and Pope Pence having to try to explain.
Rudy Giuliani. Don't forget Rudy.
Well, Rudy doesn't have any. He's making the TV rounds. He's not going to places making speeches.
Yeah, yes, he is. I've seen him in a couple of places, Auntie.
Well, when Rachel made this summation the other night and laid out who was on the battlefield, Chris Christie, or maybe it was just that week alone or the next 2 weeks, who was, and where they had dates, they did not have Giuliani or Chris Christie on the battlefield. They had him and Pence. And she may have...
Chris Christie's having legal trouble.
Yeah, Chris Christie about to go to jail, we hope. And Mike Pence can't even fill a room for donors.
And listen...
That is true. Wait, Brenda.
Yeah.
Let's go back a minute, because I want Kenny to elaborate on that. He can't fill a room for donors, because I read that story as well.
I did too, Jackie.
So please, Kenny, and Kenny, just talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
I have something to add to that. Okay.
The vice presidential nominee for the Republican Party had at least 2 fundraising dinners. One was in Indiana, and I believe the other one was in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Right. Had them scheduled.
They both got canceled.
Right.
And the reason that they got canceled is because the donors didn't have any interest in donating to Donald Trump's campaign. And
as of yesterday, Ken, it was reported that some of the donors had started asking for their money back. Right.
Well, what's sad about it, and what is really telling to me is, where is Mike Pence from?
Indiana.
He couldn't get donors in Indiana.
Couldn't fill a room
in his own state.
And had to cancel them.
Yeah, and he is incredibly unpopular in Indiana.
Jackie.
He is incredibly, he's a snake. Let me just put it like that.
Okay, and he is the smoothest pimp I have ever seen.
That brother was slithering around lying on that debate stage like it was so easy for him.
Yeah, and the truth meter went off on him, and it just ding, 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 ding. Twitter was just lighting him up. That's a lie. That's a lie. And what was Hillary inviting him to do? To go to her page. See if he was telling the truth.
Well, the saddest thing to me is that he would stand up and claim that he is a man of faith.
Yeah, that is sad, isn't it, Ken?
Well, Kenny, wait. Wait, let me just, I have been thinking about this quite a bit lately.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay, and so the thing that you noticed about Christians, well, I thought that the juxtaposition of Tim Kaine and Mike Pence side by side, who both say that they are men of faith. The difference between those two guys show the difference in people's faith and how they practice it and how they see it. And so Tim Kaine believes that his faith teaches him to love other people and to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
He believes that his faith is personal and he has no right to impose his religious beliefs on other human beings. Right? And so he is a New Testament Christian guy. Okay, and I know that we get Christianity in the New Testament. Okay, but he's but then there are those Old Testament Christian people, who say that they're Christian, but they like angry God from the Old Testament. An eye for an eye, and wipe them all out, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, kill all the gays and the
people
queers
who believe that they should impose their beliefs on everybody else.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so that is the difference. So I believe that Mike Pence is a man of faith. It's just which faith?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a great question, Jackie. Let me go here because I've been speaking about abortion and pro-life and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, the difference between Kaine and Pence is this. Kaine is truly pro-life. Number one, if the woman has an abortion, because you're not going to stop a woman from having an abortion. The 50s proved that when women were dying from wire coat hangers.
Yes.
Okay, so as a Christian, I didn't say a church person because I consider Kaine a Christian and Pence church people. There's a difference.
And Donald Trump is neither.
And Donald Trump is the demon he's the false prophet from the book of Revelation, but that's something else. That's a totally different story. Okay. So if you're truly pro-life, and a woman has made up her mind, do you think Christ would punish that woman, or do you think that he would try to give her the best medical care that she could get and then allow her to deal with her moral indiscretions between her and her God?
That's what I think she should be able to do.
Well, that's what Tim Kaine was advocating.
That's right.
Now, mind you, and I don't want to preach on a political show, but let me give you this real quick, and then we can move on. When the woman was caught, when they drugged that woman to Jesus in adultery, that was caught in adultery, right? And the Jewish men said, "We caught her in the very act of adultery. What do you say?" And Jesus said, "You who are without sin, cast the first stone." Well, I see a lot of rock throwing, and the people that's throwing the rocks got glass houses.
Yes.
Okay, and so the point that I'm trying to make is, if you're truly pro-life, then why not protect the life of the woman that's carrying the baby also?
And allow her to have a legal abortion and then let her deal with her sin with Jesus face to face. I say it on this show all the time, don't I, Jackie? It has nothing to do with whether Jackie and I believe in abortion or not. What our preference is doesn't matter. When you are the leader of a nation, you cannot put your religious beliefs onto a whole nation of people.
Well, I respectfully disagree with that because I can see Barack Obama's faith in every legislative move that he made.
Well, that is somewhat true, Ken, but he's... Go ahead, Jackie.
No. But you know, Ken, there is a reason that the Constitution establishes separation between church and state, although those lines continue, the Republicans continue to try and blur those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothers me, the faith that they want to impose upon the nation is not a faith that I can subscribe to.
No.
And neither can I, because that is not a godly way of living.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. But, you know, I understand what you're saying, too, about you can see his faith in what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, too.
He always looks at the policy as a matter of public policy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I don't believe that he imposes his faith, okay, but he does follow his faith.
Exactly. Come on, you're preaching now. Come on, talk to me.
And look.
No, I'm done.
No, and
yeah,
look,
No. See,
wait, Ken, my
that's the whole thing.
My turn. Now,
Your turn, come on.
Now, Barack Obama said, as the LGBT community wanted to have the right to marry one another. Mm-hmm. Barack Obama does not believe in that. He does not believe in a man marrying a man and a woman marrying a woman. But he said he prayed about it, he thought about it, and he evolved on it because that was what his religious beliefs were. That was what he believed that the Lord, would have him do, stop this. But then he looked at, he was providing over a nation of people who did not believe in this. The majority of the people believe that these people should have the right to live. They're people, they're human beings. And he followed the Constitution.
That part.
That's what he did.
That part.
Although they swear that all he does is just destroy our Constitution, he does not. That's why he evolved on that issue. He thought about the Constitution, how it gives the rights of separation of church and state, however you feel as a Christian. And I believe that he is a God-fearing Christian man. He thought about it. But these are human beings. And they live and work in this country and pay taxes, and all human beings. That's why we give the KKK a right to march and say the crazy, stupid shit that they do and say. We all know it's a hate group. Okay, so we made some laws that say if you take your hatred too far, we're going to beat your ass. We're going to punish you. We're going to put you in prison. Now, you can go out here and have free speech all you want and speak your hate all you want. But when you cross the line and start harming people, killing people, hurting people, that's where your freedom of speech ends. But I too believe that the KKK should have the same freedom of speech that I do.
Isn't it written in the Bill of Rights that every man should have an inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
That's right. It is.
That's the Declaration.
Is that the Declaration?
That's the Declaration of Independence.
Is that the Declaration of Independence?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right. But the Declaration of Independence is what America was supposedly founded on. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So if Barack Obama had imposed his beliefs, he would have stopped somebody's pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And we all have the right to it. And that's why I keep saying, Ken, you and I were talking with a friend last night. And they said that Barack Obama was gay. And we said, what? I believe he's gay. Why would you believe that? Because he signed that bill to let gay folks get married. Oh, hold up. You can't leave right now. Come on back in this house. Come on back in this house. We got to talk about this stupid ass thought. Come on back in here. I wasn't letting them leave, Jackie. until I made them understand what in the hell does that have to do with him. This man adores his wife. Let me explain something to you. He evolved on his thinking. He does not believe in marriage between a man and a woman and a woman. He doesn't. His faith says that's a sin. But he came to the conclusion and evolved. But wait a minute. I'm not pastor in chief. I'm not God in chief. I'm the president of the United States. And I am supposed to see to this nation being her best. And if I allow this, they're already killing gays, just like, that's why I try to tell people who are Trump supporters, don't you think he's great? I don't think anything's great about him. What I see is shit coming out of the 1800s and the early 20s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, when Negroes, we used to be the illegal immigrants in their eyes after we got freedom. After slavery ended, we still didn't have freedom. So if anybody should talk about freedom and not having it, it's us. But we move on every day and put one foot in front of the other, and we try to negotiate and talk about how you are not giving us total freedom. We talk about how you are discriminating against us. We talk about it. We don't walk around telling folk we got a rope with your name on it. They're still threatening us, go to violence every single time. And the part that they don't get about Black Lives Matter is that it's not your white sons that are being walked up to a car and shot for a busted tail light.
Yeah.
They negotiate, Jackie, with kidnappers, and they negotiate with bank robbers if they got caught up in the bank.
Terrorists.
They negotiate with terrorists. They negotiate with everybody except these black men in our country. How can you kill someone on a traffic stop and someone who's unarmed? You mean really you can't just treat them with dignity and take them to jail and let the system, let them work through the system, pay their bail, fight their case, whatever it is? You really think that this comes to shooting him? I thought he had a gun. Unless you saw a gun pointed at you or heard the shot go off or a bullet whistle past your ear. Really? You're killing these men. And the reason we're not saying men's lives matter, because we already believe that, but it's just not men you're killing. It's black men. And to Lil Wayne and Merriweather, these two black famous men who are scolding Kaepernick for taking a knee in support to show that he, I shouldn't say support, to show his disdain for the killing of these black souls. Just not black men are dying, they're killing black women too.
Yeah.
Sandra Bland. Negroes don't hang themselves with garbage bags. Nobody believes that. And so, yes, they're, and nobody's ever seen a Black Lives Matter protester carrying a gun.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that whenever black people come together, Black Panthers,
great things happen, Ken?
No. The Black Panther Party, the Black Lives Matters movement, the Million Man March. Have you ever noticed how the media plays it as a hate group?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Now, you just mentioned the KKK. The KKK has been around forever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. The KKK is still going strong, waving Confederate flags.
Even though they don't
talking
own
about
shit.
lynching black people, Jews, or whoever else they don't agree with, who doesn't meet their criteria as a human being.
Right.
And yet, we hear nothing about them, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we have federal Meals on Wheels and the school breakfast programs, and those things came from the Black Panther Party that the federal government adopted. But yet, the Black Panther Party was considered a hate group.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When Philadelphia burned down that city block to get what was the name of that group?
Because I want to say it was Move or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the city of Philadelphia bombed their own city.
Yeah.
Yes.
And burned down a whole city block of over 60 homes or more, I think.
You talk about Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything in America that African Americans have tried to pull together to do has been considered a threat to America herself and has been systematically crushed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now we have elected the first black president, and immediately he's not a citizen.
Right.
Everything that he tries to put through, we're just going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that goes wrong, we're going to blame him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
and Jackie, that organization was Move in Philadelphia,
mm-hmm.
where they bombed them and killed all those people and burned down a city block, and I do believe that they settled a lawsuit with them, didn't they?
I don't think so, not yet.
Yeah. Well, look, Kenny, when you were talking about blaming him,
mm-hmm.
my favorite blaming him moment was recently. This was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
The veto.
Yes.
Go ahead, sis.
The president should have communicated with us earlier. The president had been fighting that legislation for more than a year. Yep. The president vetoed the legislation.
Yes.
But you jumped to override his veto.
Yes.
And the other thing about this particular issue is that the Democrats did not help them
at all. And I said they all needed to be voted out. Get rid of all of them. Yeah. The whole Congress. Get rid of all of them.
But you know what the Republicans have been relying on is the Democrats keeping them from doing super stupid shit, right?
Uh-huh.
And this time the Democrats went along with them.
Let them do some stupid shit. And Jackie, that was the most amazing thing to hear Mitch McConnell got his tail tucked between his butt, and here he comes out here before the video cameras and holds this press conference, and I don't want it to seem like I blame everything on this president, cause I don't. But he should have fought a little harder.
I know, because I don't. Well, you just did it, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wait, ladies.
He should have fought a little harder.
Wait, ladies, because I just got a couple of things.
Should have explained this thing to us a little bit better.
Just a couple of things. How is it that you're the legislature, you wrote this law,
and you
say that you didn't know what was in it?
You need the Negro to explain it to you, whom you never listen to him as he explains shit to you all the time.
Wait. And then the president should have communicated with us more. He wrote you a 4-page letter.
And Jackie said, and he fought you. He's been telling you for a year, don't do this.
Okay.
If you do this, it's going to open up the floodgates for everybody.
To sue
America and all the destruction and friendly fire and shit that we've gone around and killed folks.
Yes.
Don't do it, dog. Don't do it. He tried to tell him. And, well, I think we need to back up here. What we have is a failure to communicate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Communicate.
Hey, Ken. Okay, back just a little... a note. There's a article on Google called "Why 30 years ago Philadelphia dropped a bomb on itself."
Oh Lord.
Yes, and so we see, bless their heart. I hate to say white folk, but it is white folk running shit, and we see them making these terrible decisions all the time, and they can't see they're wrong, and especially the Republican Party white folks. We know we got a lot of white folks on the Democratic side
Brenda,
that
listen,
are
I
with
think
us.
that what has happened to the Republican Party is that they have this psycho base that believes Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh and Fox News and who the hell ever else, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is their base, okay?
Yeah.
If they don't have those people voting for them,
Mm-hmm.
they will never win another election.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be in power. They want to have something to say, right?
Yeah.
But all that they say is stupid. And listen, I said this years ago, that the Republican Party had devolved into a hate group. And hate groups always destroy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Always destroy themselves.
Always
Because
do.
when you start talking about purity and stuff, the goalpost keeps moving, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Until finally, nobody is pure enough. Something wrong with that old bastard Kenny Wayne, because he's only 87% African and not 92% African, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So this is just the inevitable result of them. They have been playing with these races for 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Longer than that, but going.
Yeah, them and their quote dog whistle unquote politics.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been lying to these people all this time. We go and do this, that, and other, and then when they get in office, they do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, just like I heard this one conservative activist talking about how this was inevitable for the Republican Party, and he was feeling bad about it because he's like an actual conservative, right? He's not one of these hate monger guys. He's just a conservative guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how they promised they're going to get rid of Obamacare, and they promised this, that, and other, and they don't. Well, they should not have promised that because there was no way they could get rid of Obamacare because the Senate was Democratic and the president is a Democrat, and this was his baby, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, of course, it was vetoed is something they couldn't do. And it is, in my mind, it is the fault of these voters who fall for this shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jackie,
And when you think about how much money, Kenny, Brenda and I were talking about this before, that we should start some anti-Obama campaign so we can make a few $1 million.
Oh, Lord.
yeah,
But we didn't have the heart to do it. We didn't.
we didn't have the heart to do it, but they're so gullible, Ken. Like Trump has found these two black sisters, ghetto sisters.
Yes, he's paying them.
Yeah, he's paying them. I don't know where you find these people. I remember when Hillary was running against Barack Obama, someone in Orlando asked me if I would come to the studio, please, and sing a satire song about Hillary. No, I won't. No, I won't. Because she'll be the next president after Barack Obama, and you will not have them floating me on a video singing one of your sick songs about her, because these people are childish. This is what children do. The crap that they are doing.
Can we go back to the Republican Party just for a moment?
Yeah, after I give you this fact, Ken, that yes, the city of Philadelphia did settle with the MOVE organization. The city officials were ordered to pay $1.5 million, but they ended up paying $25 million to settle all lawsuits.
They got off cheap.
Because they killed, children and
they killed a bunch of people.
11 people, and dropped a bomb on his own damn neighborhood. So.
But the Republican Party has officially turned into a cult.
It has.
You think so, Kenny?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
You talk about Breitbart You talk about Rush Limbaugh. You talk about Alex Jones.
Yeah.
You talk about Donald Trump. Okay, and to be honest with you, if Barack Obama had been running 30 years earlier, do you know he would have been a Republican?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of the things that Obama tried to put in place were Republican ideas from the 80s.
Along with Obamacare.
Yeah.
He got that from them.
He got that from them.
And he saw Romneycare and how it worked.
The infrastructure bill, the American American Jobs Act. He got that from Republicans.
Yeah.
The Affordable Care Act. He got that from Republicans.
Yes, that was Obamacare.
Okay.
And they thought if they stuck his name on it, it would help folks hate it.
You know, the thing that went wrong with the Affordable Care Act is the Republican governors refused to take the money.
That's right.
That's right. And when the Supreme Court said that they did not have to take the Medicaid expansions, like, oh, that's the problem. And, guys, the other thing, too, is that this year, the LA Times did a wonderful piece about how well Obamacare is working in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the article, it says, if the Republicans insist on saying that Obamacare doesn't work, then why is it working in California so well, the largest state in the nation?
And it's working in Arkansas. And when, our Democratic governor accepted Obamacare, and then he had term limited out, and then they got a Republican governor, and immediately the House and the Republican Senate here they're going to repeal Obamacare, but their low information voters brought the pitchforks out and they left it the fuck alone. They left it alone because they were loving it.
You think about it, it's working in California, it's working in Arkansas, it's working in Kentucky. It's working in a lot of places where the states have implemented it.
And the reason
but
John
if you
Kasich,
think about states like Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama and Florida,
how they need
where
it.
It is absolutely, it is pitiful what they are doing to their own populations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They could have helped them.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about people. And John Kasich could have been right here with Hillary Clinton, and we may be looking at another Republican governor, but his president. But his problem was that he accepted Obamacare.
Kasich
Donald Trump.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Kasich did a lot of things in Ohio that a lot of the Republicans just really didn't like. Now, Kasich isn't, Prince Charming.
Yeah, and he a little wacky, too.
He does try to govern, okay?
Yeah, he does try.
Yeah,
remember when he came
there you go. And this just goes to show, it's like I said, that the Republican Party is a hate group. All these people who are screaming about Obamacare and Obama and Hillary's a liar and blah, 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 blah,
and
blah.
a witch and the devil.
They are the people who always blame. I read an article in the New York Times about this because, there have been so many people trying to figure out who these people are that support Donald Trump. What is wrong with you that you would support Donald Trump?
Something is really wrong with you.
As my daughter always says, oh, so much. That's what's wrong with you. But the thing about it is that these people always blame the wrong folks for their situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These are people who go along with, get rid of the EPA when it is their communities that have been destroyed by corporate polluters.
Like Mayflower, Arkansas, Jackie, where one day in their nice community, oil, bubbling oil, came up through the ground. If it wasn't for the EPA, shit like that would happen all over the country, and all sorts of things are happening. Remember the lake of fire that Kids were
Well,
out.
that was Cuyahoga County. That was in Ohio.
Yeah, kids were out
Yeah,
with
and the thing
fireworks.
that really gets me is, they never blame the corporations. Like when they start talking about these illegal immigrants. Well, look, if nobody would hire them here, they would not come here.
Thank you.
But no, and whenever politicians start talking about legislation on immigration, they always manage to skip over the part about punishment for employers that hire illegal immigrants.
Okay, Jackie, who is in charge of the Senate right now?
The Republicans.
Who's in charge of the House right now?
The Republicans.
How many immigration bills have you seen written and come out of there?
Well, they did write one, remember, early when President Obama was reelected, and they were all just shocked, because they had made up their own reality.
Yeah.
Until actual reality caught up with them.
Uh-huh.
And then, so they did pass the bill in the Senate, right?
Uh-huh.
But it could not get through the House.
Uh-huh.
And the thing that gets me is that, like where Paul Ryan is right now is where John Boehner was, right? And the thing is that they could actually do some work, but they would have to leave out their psychos.
Right.
And so then all of them are afraid of being primaried. And it's sort of like, what do you hold elective office for? These offices were not guaranteed to you forever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we need term limits on Congress.
Exactly. And,
and you think about this. Our Congress worked 97 days this year.
Oh my God.
97 days.
Out of 365 kids.
And they are making on an average $174,000 a year.
Yeah.
But,
and health care.
But they don't want to raise the minimum wage.
Right.
They don't want to give us health care.
Right.
They keep cutting food stamps and welfare for people who actually need help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talking about, we should implement drug testing.
Look, Rick Scott tried that.
Yeah.
And look.
If anything, Congress should be drug tested.
Okay, listen. Rick Scott in Florida tried that, Jackie. He gave the drug testing job to his company to do the drug testing, charged the taxpayers of Florida over $2 million, and they found out of all of those people that received government assistance from the state, they found 2 cases of somebody that had drugs in their system.
Yeah.
So their drug.
Brenda. Oh, sorry.
Their drug witch hunt is as bad as their voter fraud witch hunt.
I know.
You found Bush sent out a team to look for all of the cases of voter fraud, and out of all of the 300 and some million folks that live here, they found 86 cases.
Yes.
And now Donald Trump is swearing and setting his mouth and fixing his mouth because he knows he's going to lose this election, and he is fixing his mouth that is rigged. It's rigged. Well, they said, well, if you win, will it be rigged? Well, of course not.
Yes. Well, the thing that is also concerning about this, though, is that I don't know if you guys saw the video from a Mike Pence rally this week.
Oh,
where
yes.
this woman, and I'm trying to, where this woman stood up and said if Hillary Clinton won, she was ready for a revolution. Yeah. And Mike Pence said, don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the people started laughing.
Am I speaking for all of y'all? I mean, our children's lives depend. Let it go, people. Look, if we lived through George Bush, you've already lived through Barack Obama, and I mean, they won't even admit, Jackie, that things are better.
No, they will.
They will not.
You really believe that things were better when George Bush was in office? And Jackie, what was that about that Barack found out that each household, middle class household, got a raise of $2,800 for the year? When did you receive that with George Bush?
Yes, and the thing about it is they like to, well, since these people make their own reality, George Bush just never existed.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't even call his
those
name.
8 years, I don't know what was going on in the country, but I guess we didn't have a president at all, over the period between 2000 and 2008. I mean, George Bush never existed. How often do you hear them call George Bush's name, Brenda?
Not often, not never, really. Donald Trump is the only one that called his name, and he accused him of tearing up the country, and that's the first time. I don't think he even knew that he was supposed to do that or that he didn't care. But
can I interject with some facts here?
Yes, please.
Please.
Okay, 15 million new jobs, private sector.
Right.
Come on with
79 straight months of job growth.
Come on with it.
Black unemployment cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm still looking for a job, I'm comfortable looking for a job.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The median income, as you've already said, was raised $2,800.
Uh-huh.
Right, it's come up $2,800. GDP is growing at a stable, sustainable, non-inflationatory, is that a word? Rate.
No, but you just made it up.
I'm Sarah Palin, right?
That's your word. Yes.
No, you're Don King right now.
But we don't have inflation while the country is growing.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Gas prices are still low.
Yes.
$2 or less. Right.
I can get decent groceries, and the country is going in the wrong direction according to the Republicans.
And don't forget, homicides dropped 13%. Wow.
Well, that's right, because I'm not supposed to be able to walk down the streets safe. Huh.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood.
Yes.
Because it's a mess. My education is a mess. What do you have to lose? Oh, I'm sorry.
We have everything to lose. The jobless rate has dropped to below the historical median. I mean, the numbers of long-term unemployed America has dropped by 614,000 under Obama.
Yes.
And it's just it's just amazing that. Do you remember when you were losing $800,000 jobs a month? Not a year under Bush,
right.
but a month.
Yeah.
This is just is unbelievable.
Now, mind you, my Republican friends, whenever I mention unemployment, always talk about how people have just dropped out of the job market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've been reading and doing a little study on that too, and more people are coming back into the market looking for jobs because they're more optimistic about finding a job. So the unemployment rate is 4.9%, I think, today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that is a good number. Just for my Republican friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing about it is the unemployment rate, if it is 5%, the economy is considered at full employment.
Mm-hmm.
Because that 5% is reserved for people who move from one job to another, things like that, right? So right now we are in economic speak at full employment, and as people keep coming into the employment market, and that rate doesn't go up, it shows that there are jobs to be had. Now, one issue with employment in the United States is that there are jobs coming open that people are not trained for. Now, President Obama, one of the things that he did with the Recovery Act was to put aside money for training in junior colleges
Mhm.
and so on. And I recently read an article about that, where the writer spoke about how there are jobs open, but they can't find people trained to do those jobs. And he went to a junior college to ask them about why they didn't have training programs, and they were like, well, we did have training programs, and it worked really great, but the funding ran out. Congress.
Thank you, Congress.
What you said, Jackie, Congress. And Jackie, let's not forget about this. This was 2015. I don't know what it is for 2016, but the fact check was that corporate profits were up 166%. You're telling me, Jackie, they ain't making no money?
Oh, they're making record profits.
Isn't that money, Jackie?
They're just not sharing it with the people who's making it for them.
Jackie, in 166%, you're telling me these white men don't like Obama?
Well, but wait, listen.
Come on, Jackie.
You know, the Donald Trump has not received an endorsement from a single Fortune 100 CEO. Not one. And you know how Warren Buffett keeps trolling him.
The Koch brothers didn't touch him. The Koch brothers won't touch him.
Yes. So I want everybody to think about that. That tells you something. And like real billionaires, like I love Mark Cuban, laughs at him so hard. He laughs at him so hard. And you notice Trump never says anything about Mark Cuban because Trump knows there's nothing he can do with Mark Cuban.
Listen, Jackie, he said how Hillary Clinton should apologize for bringing Mark Cuban to the debate. They want to talk about me bringing Bill Clinton's women. Are you serious, dog? Bringing Mark Cuban to the debate, she should apologize for that?
Yes.
They are laughing at him, Jackie. U.S. crude oil production was up 87%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, I heard Donald Trump say one day at a speech that how the deficit had been it had gone up twice as bad since Barack Obama took place. No, that was George Bush, boo. You know, the unemployment rate had gone up twice as. No, it went down.
Yeah, well,
it went down.
Friend, just like they make their own reality, they make their own numbers. Because when Trump talks about what, quote, real unemployment is and what the job labor participation rate is, in the labor participation rate, he is including retired people, disabled people, students, okay? Everybody in the country does not have a job at every moment of every day.
Because
there are people who aren't working because they are in school or because they are retired or
because they hit a white girl in the face.
Wait.
Jackie, wait. Or they hit a white woman in the face and get fired.
Wait. Wait, but listen to what you just said, Jackie.
Yes.
Listen to what you just said.
Lord Jesus.
Retired people, disabled people, students, right?
Yes.
They want to raise the retirement age to 75, right?
Right.
They want to make schools so expensive until normal people can't even afford it.
Right, because they don't want you educated.
Okay, and then Donald Trump makes fun of disabled people.
Yes.
All right. So my point to that is they want to get rid of these things, have us working for pennies.
Right.
Let them eat cake.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know.
Oh Lord.
And that's what I see. I see haves and have-nots. And that's the Republican position. We have, y'all ain't got none, and y'all gonna be our slaves.
And Jackie, I totally remember some little part in the Bible where the Lord told them to feed my people.
Yes.
Jackie, we have more than enough to help feed the poor.
Oh, yeah.
We just don't, the Republicans just don't want to do it.
Look,
Well, and the thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand in our nation, and I know it's because so many people are struggling, is they do not understand the wealth of this country in relation to the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
come on.
They just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch.
I mean, given the wealth of the United States, we should have streets that are paved with gold.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
idea
really.
that we have, and I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious because the United States economy, I think, is like a third of world GDP.
Ooh.
That's what we produce,
Wow.
and we have less than 5% of the world population.
Mm-hmm.
We should be, everybody should have a mansion. The streets should be paved with gold. We should not have any problem educating anyone
That's
or
right.
feeding anyone.
And that's what
Because
Bernie
of
and
the
Hillary
wealth of
been
this
trying to.
nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Watch
But-
this. Okay. Watch
But
this.
because of the way that wealth is distributed, it's just like Kenny said, the people who create the wealth, and the Republicans always say it's the entrepreneurs and the executives and stuff. But I tell you what, the corporation that I work for, if it weren't for all of us little worker bees, right?
They wouldn't be shit.
Nobody would be making any money because it takes a lot of us to make that money.
That's
Yes,
right.
it does.
Okay?
And
It takes a lot of us to make that money. So, it is just this whole argument that they have created is just bullshit. And if we follow Republican ideology to its logical conclusion, our democracy would end, right?
uh-huh.
And we would have this oligarchy. I mean, they're trying to set up a government that's like the old Confederacy. I say that all the time.
Uh-huh.
But they're not the Republican Party; they are the Confederate Party.
Uh-huh.
All right, because because if you follow their ideas to their logical conclusion, that's what it would be. And there is an ideology that the only way you can have a society is to have a few people at the top supported by all of these people at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't have anything to do with your talent, your intellect, your capability, right?
And Jackie, as I was saying to Ken the other night, they keep on with this immigration thing. And all of a sudden, you're going to find no tomatoes, no lettuce, no strawberries, no cucumbers on your table. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Because the hard-working immigrants, especially those who come here from Mexico, work their asses off. And I remind y'all, and I'll never forget about the Brian Williams special at 30 Rock, where he went down to Georgia with all the Republican farmers who were, and the governor had basically laid out a get out of town by sundown.
Yeah, sundown, yes.
He basically laid that out, and the people hauled ass, going where they wouldn't be rounded up
Persecuted.
and persecuted, right?
Yes.
And this was so funny because he had all these Republican farmers, and they had cucumbers and peaches and apples and all sorts of shit rotting on the ground. And Brian Williams asked, did they expect that? No, we never thought about that. Who did you think was picking your shit for you? You hired them. Your cucumbers. Oh Lord, Jackie, they wanted to rethink the whole thing.
Let me go back to the wealth of the United States just for a second.
Go ahead. Yeah, I had to throw that in there. I want to remind y'all.
Let me go back because in Saudi Arabia, if you are born Saudi,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to work.
Okay.
The Saudis actually house, feed, clothe their people. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And all the workers are imported.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that goes directly to immigration here in America. As Jackie has just beautifully stated, we have so much wealth in America that every American really don't have to work. We don't have enough people in America with all the money that we have in America. Everybody could be a multi-millionaire.
But they can't have that, Ken.
Wait, I understand.
They can't have that.
Understand. But we're just talking about the direction of policies, logical conclusion, what has been done in the world and what could be done over here that we know the Republicans are standing in the way of.
And let me remind you.
Mind you, the Saudis all have free education.
And let me remind
and medical.
you. Let me remind you that ain't no black folks giving jobs to the immigrants. We don't have it like that.
Ain't no black folks bringing dope in the country neither.
Say it again. I mean, y'all really think about this. Who owns all of the big farms and da-da-da-da-da-da? Y'all are the ones that own the peach farms, the cucumber farms, and out in Jackie's neck of the woods, California, you got some rich Mexicans who worked from the ground up. Now they own their own farms and stuff.
Yeah, but not only that though, Brenda, in California, since California was Mexico to start with, right?
Okay, right.
Okay, there are Mexicans, people of Mexican descent anyway, I need to say that. Yeah. Because, they're Americans now,
That's
one
right.
of the things that always kills me, President Obama talks about no matter how you got here, whether you came through Ellis Island or across the Rio Grande, and I always think to myself, yeah, and with some people, the Rio Grande crossed them. He never says that whether you cross the Rio Grande or the Rio Grande cross you.
Hey, exactly. And what we try, and unlike Richard Pryor, what we're saying is, what's your point? There is no point to be made. We're not mudbone. We're trying to make a point to you. All of the people here that are that you talking about putting them out, these people contribute to this economy.
And pay more taxes than you, Donald Trump.
Pay more taxes than you. And you are, I heard a businessman say the other day on Chris Hayes' show, he said Donald Trump, so-called policy is bad for America.
Oh, God.
He said it's really bad for America. You talk about putting people out of this country, people that do work and stuff, and he said, if I had a worker that talked the talk that he did to women and this and that, and he said he would never be hired. If I looked at his resume, he could never be hired as a manager for me. But yet y'all are thinking about hiring him for president of the United States?
Well,
he said this man is not fit.
The plans that the two candidates have, can we?
Yes, Kenny, brilliant. Come on with it, baby.
Because when I've read an article a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember. It was an independent study done on each candidate's economic plan. Mm-hmm. Right now, we understand that Hillary wants to do infrastructure and add money to it, but she also wants to raise taxes on the wealthy.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now, the study showed that Hillary's plan, the $1.65 trillion that she wanted to add, would be paid for by the revenue that she got from the wealthy.
Thank you.
So, to the deficit, her plan would add $200 billion. Mm-hmm. Okay, which for our economy is a drop in the bucket.
Right.
With Donald Trump's plan, his first plan would add $11.5 trillion to the deficit.
Yes.
And we still don't know what he would be doing.
Back up a little bit off your mic, Ken.
Okay, let me back up a bit.
Yeah.
And then his revised plan would add $5.3 trillion to the deficit. Mm-hmm. And we still don't know where the money is going, besides a massive tax cut.
Or to pay off China his debt of $650 million to them. We don't know what he owes to Russia and anybody else. But Ken, we constantly say here, what makes him a brilliant businessman?
He's a con man.
Trump steaks failed. Trump water failed. Taj Mahal failed. All of this shit that failed. He's filed bankruptcy 6 times. Tell me what's brilliant about this businessman other than conning the U.S. system. And as Hillary Clinton said, what kind of genius loses $916 billion in a year?
Watch this. Watch this. Remember Ronald Reagan was talking about welfare queens?
Ah, yeah.
We found her.
Yes, we did. Very good, kid. Jackie, are you there? I think we...
Yes, Brenda, I am here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you laughing at Ken, and I thought we lost you because he made it funny.
Yes.
Yeah, Ken, we found her.
Yeah,
but
we found her.
You
Her
know
name
what?
was Donald Trump.
You know what, y'all? What we have to be grateful for is this bastard is not going to win. And so he can scream about the system is rigged, and only if the system is right, if he wins, he can scream that all he wants. But your ass will not be the president of the United States. Fix your mouths.
Brenda, look, you know how I am, right?
I know it makes you nervous.
You know how I am, because until Hillary has actually won this thing,
yeah,
I'm not, I know that it looks good for her to win this thing, but until it's actually done, I'm going to be nervous because, like, Donald Trump and his psychos, and I mean, the thing about it is, the thing that concerns me about Hillary Clinton is that the Republicans have been lying on her for 30 or 40 years.
Yep.
And these lies have become the truth in some people's minds because they don't.
Yeah, they have, Jackie, but you know what? In spite of that, people realize she's qualified. In spite of that, these women coming out, they will not have him as cat grabber and chief. They just won't. And so, let me say this to you women. Our pussies will be safe here shortly. Because he's not going to be pussy groper in chief either. Which means same thing. But we're not going to have it. And people are jumping ship like a bunch of rats.
Yeah, well, but Brenda, the thing about that too, though, this is what I'm hoping for. Okay, this is Jackie's, dream scenario. Okay, so the Republicans are in chaos, right? They're in absolute and total chaos. They got Donald Trump out here, just being ridiculous, right?
Uh-huh.
And so, since the party is splitting, there are a lot of Trump people who are not going to vote for folks in Congress or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry. I had just turned over to CNN and I saw this headline that says Liberty students revolt against Jerry Falwell Jr. and Trump.
Oh my God! Yes, Jerry Falwell ain't shit.
That's right.
No, he's not.
He ain't shit.
And I have been reading articles lately about evangelicals saying we can't support Trump, and about these evangelical publications who are saying you cannot vote for Trump.
That's right. Because
there is no justification because our president has led the world to believe that Liberty University supports Donald Trump. We students must take it upon ourselves to make clear that Donald Trump is absolutely opposed to what we believe and does not have our support. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
I love it.
For kids at an evangelical college to do something like that, because that's considered disobedient, right?
Yes.
And you're supposed to obey authority.
Yes.
Hold on. If the authority is going against the law of God, we are allowed by the Bible to be willfully disobedient.
And Jackie and Ken, when have you seen, they haven't even shown us a picture of Donald Trump entering a church. Do we know what church?
Yeah, he entered a church, and that church, after he left that church, the next Sunday they had a riot in the church.
Kid, I'm talking about going to service.
Oh shoot! Well, I don't know nothing about all that.
Does anybody know what his religion is? If he has one, what's his church
Well,
home?
he says he's a Presbyterian.
No,
What's his
he
church
says
home?
he's a Pussypatarian.
Now, Kenny, you know that wasn't even right.
Kenny, you know that wasn't even right.
My bad. I'm sorry. That is beneath my calling, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Ken. I'm the only one here without a reputation. You have to let me talk that bad talk, as Granny used to say. Everybody else here got a reputation. I ain't got much, but it's mine. But I'm willing to put mine on the line, and I'll call him all kinds of pussies if I want to. But this man is not fit. As the president said, he's woefully unfit to be president. And every woman has met a Donald Trump, and I've met many.
Oh,
and those are the ones that I want to bust right in the face. And I've slapped a couple of them. I bust one in the throat with my fist one time. I
just got a thing. Donald Trump at his rally said he was preparing his lawsuit against the New York Times, and the New York Times in a prepared statement said that they are ready
and they welcome
lawsuit, and they look forward to meeting him in court, setting a court date so the court can set him straight.
That's right. I just read that coming across the screen because I keep the show on the political channels, and instead of people talking about the problems of this nation and how Hillary Clinton plans to solve them, it is all about Donald Trump gonna sue somebody, and all about these women coming out of the woodworks to tell us.
Well, not on Fox News though, because I always, whenever there's something going on,
well, Jackie,
I flip over to Fox News and see what they're talking about.
I wasn't
what
considering.
What they're talking about is WikiLeaks releasing more emails from Hillary.
The scandalous emails.
John Podesta.
Yeah, these scandalous emails.
Okay,
Jackie, there's nothing scandalous about these emails. What they found them talking about, that is normal for a campaign to be talking about.
I know, Brenda. I'm still looking for the smoking gun, and there was someone talking about that yesterday evening on MSNBC. And it's sort of like, well, there's not been any bombshells or anything like that.
Ain't shit.
Some of the things that some people might think it's embarrassing, but and a lot of this stuff is taken out of context. And the Russians are doing this. Why do the Russians want Donald Trump to be our president so bad?
Because he would be Putin's puppet.
The New York bomber has pleaded not guilty.
We still have a Congress in court, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they don't work that well and all that other stuff, right? But think about what Mike Pence said about the Russians in his debate. Okay? Think about that. That is the Republican, I guess it's the establishment Republican position on Russia, all right? And those fools in the Congress, they know. So anyway, I just found this really interesting, and also the way that they took this email that from Donna Brazile,
yes,
and ascribed something to it that wasn't true, and then also Donald Trump reading Russian propaganda from the stage at one of his rallies,
right?
About Hillary Clinton and Benghazi and all that other stuff. So see, I know that everybody's talking about, the women and the sex scandals and all that other stuff, and what a gross person.
Wait, let her finish. Let her finish this point, Ken. Go ahead.
Yeah, which is certainly true, and I do believe that it has bearing on the presidential race. But this stuff with the Russians, this is some serious shit.
Okay, Jackie.
And people really need to pay attention to this, because Donald Trump, he
stood up and called on the Russians. Russia, if you're listening, find the 33,000 emails. What kind of an American does that with our enemy? You don't have enough of a case to fight your case and win the presidency?
Well, because Brenda, he doesn't know anything. I mean, that's the thing.
That's the problem.
These Steve Schmidt, who ran John McCain's campaign in 2008, was talking about this, that he was mortified at the intellectual rock.
Yes.
He called it.
That's what he called it.
Center of the Republican Party. And it's very true. Now, Steve, he didn't apologize for Sarah Palin.
Okay.
But, I think that Sarah Palin is certainly a contributor to this because they took somebody completely unqualified for national office.
But Steve talked about that the other day, and they were talking about how she knew nothing.
That's right.
And it was just amazing. Thank goodness for the great movie Game Change that they participated in. But Steve Schmidt raked the Republicans over the coals. And then he ended with Hillary Clinton will be the 45th president of the United States because the Republicans have just lost their minds.
Yes.
He said that intellectual rock.
But I was sorry, I was talking about my dream scenario.
Yes.
And what my dream scenario is that, because the Republicans, they cannot win without women, and they cannot win without these crazy Trump supporters. And what I'm hoping is that the crazy Trump supporters will seek to punish the Republican establishment by not voting for any of their congressional candidates.
Yeah, down ballot.
Yeah, that is what I am hoping for. Mm-hmm. And, and if that happens, the Democrats will take back the Senate and the House.
Yeah, they're so angry with these rich assholes, because it's just as Trey Crowder says. But since when has as Trey Crowder, the crazy white boy, the redneck, Trey Crowder says, since when
from Tennessee?
has rednecks supported the popo and Donald Trump's out there, law and order, they're whistling going on. They hate the police.
Yeah.
And,
ladies, let's go back to the Russians for a moment.
Oh yeah, okay, please, Kitty.
Because the Russians have said, there was an article that I read yesterday, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was one of the high-powered Russians who said that if you don't want nuclear war, you will vote for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Gorbachev, Gorbachev don't say nothing, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He doesn't say anything. He's even spoken out. He's like, look, this election is bringing out the worst in all of us, and we need to go back to communicating, because right now, through this election, what we are not seeing and what we're not hearing on the mainstream media is how close we are to war with Russia. If you think about it, Mike Pence at the vice presidential debate advocated a direct conflict between the United States and Russia.
Yes, he did.
Well, the Republicans love war, Ken. That's how their friends make money.
Look, Auntie. There's one thing about conventional warfare. For us to go to war with Russia would be the end of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Putin, he wouldn't, he would not.
He's not going to back down.
That's right. He would not accept the defeat. And if it meant launching nukes, he'd launch them.
He'd launch them. Yeah. We're talking nuclear holocaust. Yes. We're talking end of the world. We're not talking just about, we went and bombed Iraq, we went and bombed Afghanistan. No. And Aleppo is the place where we are the closest to direct conflict with Russia.
Yes.
Hey, listen, guys, we're getting ready. We got 7 minutes, and we have not taken any kind of break today, and we're not going to take one now. But so let's get to go with our funny stuff. Jackie has an update on her Bundy Boys that she loves. But let me, Jackie, I want you to go ahead and read your Bundy Boys update.
Well, I want to skip the Bundy Boys right now, and I want to do something else since we only have 7 minutes. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the Bundy Boys will wait. They'll be there next week and the week after that.
Okay.
But I just wanted to point out that Nate Silver's website, 538, which everyone has heard us reference many times because Nate is like the numbers guru, right?
Yeah.
he did an electoral map that shows what the results of the election would be if only women voted and if only men voted, right?
Yes.
And if only women voted, Hillary Clinton would win the presidency 450 electoral college votes to 80 for Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if only men voted, Donald Trump would win 350 electoral votes to 180 electoral votes for Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very eye-opening statistic right there. That was a good example of how the lines are being drawn in this election. And after 538 put out those electoral maps, Trump supporters started a hashtag on Twitter called Repeal the 19th.
What?
That means is repeal the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote.
No, he didn't, Jackie.
Well, he didn't, but, his supporters have done that, and it is trending on Twitter.
Oh, my goodness. And we've got to get it over here on Facebook and make sure it's showing up. He doesn't tweet as much on Facebook, post as much on Facebook as he tweets on Twitter. Because
there's too many characters, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Twitter's 120 characters?
140.
Yeah.
140 characters. So see, that's in keeping with his attention span.
Okay, well, Ken, I'll let you go with your ending story. It can be funny or otherwise, or you can just tell us what you learned today.
Let's see. What I actually learned today was that how upsetting, how shocking, how disrespectful Donald Trump's lack of respect for women actually is.
Yeah. He has total disdain for women.
And what I've recognized today is that for any woman to advocate voting for Donald Trump, she's just a hoe.
Money grew up in hoe.
Let's just say she's deluded. Don't call them all hoes, Kitty. That's so mean.
Well, the Pulse is live, at MSNBC, and the question was asked after all the allegations from several women about Donald Trump groping him. Does this make him unfit? 94% says yes, and 6% say no.
Yeah. There are so many things that make him unfit, but that's
that's just one of them. Okay, y'all. Yeah. So let me read this that came from Twitter, and our partner, Professor Walt DeBille, put it up here on our Let's Talk About It page on Facebook. Donald Trump wrote, "Bush 41's mind is shot. That's why he's voting for crooked Hillary." Bush 41 came back and wrote, "Hey, Donald Trump, if you were any more mentally ill, Texas would execute you." Oh, no! The old man knocked it out of the park.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Donald Trump, if you were any more mentally ill, Texas would execute you.
And there's the division in the Republican Party.
Need I say any more, guys? You have been listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, who can't stop laughing at Bush 41. He knocked it out of the park. Joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. And joining Jackie and me is the Kenneth the Bull Morganfield. He has joined the political shit train right here. Because we talk more shit But we tell the truth. That's what we do. We keep you laughing a little bit, but I want you to know that this shit is serious. Early voting has begun all over the country. We need you to get out and vote early. It's already looking good for Hillary Clinton. Over 500,000 votes have been cast, and they're still casting them every day. Don't let yourself sit at home or be caught slipping. Get out and vote. We cannot have this troll, this fool, this groper in chief for groper in chief, okay? This groper and fool for groper in chief. We can't have it.
Ballot.
Down ballot. Don't forget, vote Democrat for your mayors, your senators, your congressmen, your representatives, your governors. If you want to see real change, you got to do it. Okay? All right. I love you. Shout out to Walt and Barron, and we'll try to catch them on the next show. Okay? Remember to join me tomorrow night for Nothing But the Blues with your girl Brenda Pearl, and then join me every Saturday night for all of my baby making music. You know I'm gonna do it to you in your ear hole. I want to give you an eargasm. Join me for Soft and Warm Saturday night from 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. Eastern time, okay? And you know how to do that on Central. Just you figure it out. Do the numbers. Do the math, okay? All right. Let me see what else I had to tell you. I love you. Oh, coming up Sunday night into Jackie, the 19th, the final debate, presidential debate. Okay, because Jackie said a couple weeks ago that she had learned that, Jackie, what have you learned today? And she said that this election is too damn long. 15 months, y'all, is too damn long. They have had us stressed out for nothing. I have to have a drink every evening and thank Ken for supporting me on it. I can't just watch this shit no more without having a drink. Okay, but remember, y'all, join Walter DeVille every Monday night from 9 until 11 p.m. for Blues in the Night. Nobody knows the blues like Walt knows the blues, okay? And then join David Capers immediately following Walt DeVille and Blues in the Night for Jazz for the Ages. Oh, baby, it's good jazz. It's just jazz. But David Capers really brings the jazz every Monday night from 11 until 2 in the morning. And then you know to join me every Wednesday night for Up All Night with Brenda White right here at the #1 broadcasting network on the net, and that's Spreaker.com. Okay, so remember to live, laugh, love, and make love as often as you have a chance to do so. Keep the bullshit out of your lives and be kind to one another. And get yourselves ready to vote. This is the Wild and Wonderful Brenda White broadcasting live from the Jewel of the Delta, and that is Forest City, Arkansas. We'll see you next Thursday morning at 12 o'clock, okay? I love you. Y'all be good. We out.